when I think about our teams across our different sections and how hard they're working in the hospitals, they're working in the EDs, they're working in the medical offices. For me, they're doing so much, and we've asked them for a lot, and they have risen to the occasion every single day, every single day. I am so proud, very, very proud to say that I work at Emory, to say that I work at Physician Group Practice. Our teams have really, really rallied together, and the urgency is for us to continue to take care of one another and take care of these patients.
Empowering the patient experience. I'm your host, Kwame Ajman. Continue the focus. Well, hello and welcome to season 2 of the Continuing the Focus Patient Experience podcast. It is here that we touch on subjects that empowers the patient experience. But that reality is not separate from or detached from empowering our teams. We hope that from our episodes that you will be encouraged, empowered, and even more eager to continue the focus in empowering our patients and one another. So this first episode of season 2 is a special episode. Today's topic is on effective teams. Being an effective team member, actually developing and maintaining high functioning teams. And with this special episode, we have a special guest. We have Mrs. Kristie Andrews. Now, before I introduce Kristie to you all, I would just like to say that this topic is so important and so needed that we'll actually have 2 episodes on this topic. Today is the first episode, and then the second episode will air the first Friday of October. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Kristie Andrews is the Director of Customer and Physician Engagement at Physician Group Practice. She served in this role for close to 4 years. Kristie earned her bachelor's degree in healthcare administration at Winthrop University and her master's degree in healthcare administration at Brenau University. She is a fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives and is a certified patient experience consultant. She is also a certified professional life coach. She is married with 3 beautiful daughters, and Kristie is an avid fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was hard for me to get that out, but that's her cup of tea.
Steelers, go Steelers!
And she also enjoys traveling, cooking, and bowling. Kristie, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm doing well, Kwame. That was such a great introduction. It's kind of difficult kind of hearing a little bit about yourself. So thank you so much for having me on the show. I think you're doing a marvelous job with this podcast. You've done so many series, and I just want to say thank you. You know, I really appreciate and support you 100% on your podcast. We've gotten great reviews of it. And I just appreciate what you are bringing to the table, not only for this team, but Emory Healthcare. You've done a phenomenal job in getting our patients' voice captured, teammates' voice captured, and I really enjoy the guests that you have on the show.
Kristie, thank you very much. I appreciate that, especially coming from you. As we just read, have a lot of experience, very skilled, and just for you to compliment me on these efforts on this platform is truly encouraging. And also, the fact that you're a guest as well is a treat for us all. So this topic that we're discussing, you're not a stranger to it at all. Team building, being an effective team member. And that term team or team member, a lot of people have their definitions, but when you throw in the word effective team, it kind of narrows it down. So
yes.
If we can, let's just dive right into it.
Sure.
So when you think of an effective team, what definition comes to mind?
I think for me, when you think about the word team and a team being very effective, it's about individual people coming together to work together in synergy so that they can accomplish the same goals and objectives. And so I think that in healthcare, in any industry that you're looking at, you've got to have a very effective team. No one person can do anything alone, whether you're in the service industry, you're in the widget industry, we all have to be a member of a team. And so, I love all of your examples and how you teach your different classes, because a lot of times you'll use, movies or songs to kind of share the story. And so I said, you know what? Now that I get to have an opportunity to come on Kwame's podcast, I've got to figure out a movie that makes sense to me around teamwork. So let me share this with you. So Ocean's 11 is actually one of my favorite movies. And I know that it's fiction. It's about a heist in Las Vegas. And I understand that. But it taught me a little bit more about teamwork. So you've got this all-star cast, right? And so you've got Brad Pitt. You've got, let's just see, all of the great characters there, Matt Damon and George Clooney, and, just great cast members, even Andy Garcia, who plays the villain, which is one of my favorite actors. But when you think about it, if you think about the heist in general, everybody had a part to play. Everybody had a role. Every person came from a different background. Every person had a different skill set, but they all came together to accomplish a goal. And for me, that's kind of how I think about a team. It's like you have to be inclusive of one another. You've got to be able to support one another. And if someone, can't really, finish a task, help that person, have their back. That to me is what a team is. And I think if we think about Ocean's 11, you can really remember how everybody had their own time and their time to shine, and they served in that capacity. So that's what I think an effective team actually looks like.
That's good. So I'm gonna have to catch up on my movies. I think the last Ocean 11 I was able to see was, I think, the first or the second one, I believe.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, everyone had a part. And that's real. Like, when it comes to being a team, everyone has to have a part with a common goal in mind, especially
Absolutely.
especially if you're going to be effective. So that's good. When it comes to the pandemic and a lot of the changes that has hit our world, that is hitting our world, specifically with healthcare, since 2020, has there been a change when it comes to the urgency for building strong and effective teams? If that call is there, the sense of urgency, why is there a sense of urgency? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Kwame, it's obviously been a very, very stressful time, not only for just individuals and humanity in and of itself, but also for healthcare workers. And so I think that our healthcare workers at this time, they have been through so much in the last 18 months. And so you're thinking about your life, right? We think about work-life balance. That's a very difficult thing to balance right now. And so when you're at work, you have your different set of challenges. And when you're at home, you have your different set of challenges, which are the, I guess, consequences of the pandemic. And so for me, the urgency of making certain that our teams are connected and working together so closely is for the betterment of our patients and our staff. I think about our teams, our providers, our frontline teammates, our housekeepers, our nurses, our leadership team. We've come together as a team during this time. And I'm reminded that our teams are very agile, but they're tired. And I think about the teamwork that has taken place. Physician group practice has like the top decile performance in patient satisfaction. How can you do that in a time of a grand scale pandemic? I am so proud, very, very proud to say that I work at Emory, to say that I work at Physician Group Practice. Our teams have really, really rallied together. And the urgency is for us to continue to take care of one another and take care of these patients.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Absolutely. I think that when I think about our teams across our different sections and how hard they're working in the hospitals, they're working in the EDs, they're working in the medical offices. For me, they're doing so much, and we've asked them for a lot, and they have risen to the occasion every single day, every single day. And I'm just so proud, honored, and I think there's a sense of humility in that, where the pressures are on us to perform and take care of our patients. But now we've got such a greater urgency just to be able to take care of ourselves, you know what I mean, as a team. And so when we see each other and we see ourselves in the office or we're taking care of patients, our focus has to be on each other and those patients. And time again, I continue to get reminded, even since the pandemic, we are still providing exceptional quality care. We are still providing excellent patient experience. We are still providing patient safety is very, very important to us. And so those are our goals. So if we go back to the definition of an effective team, we are accomplishing our goals. And so I'm just honored to be able to work with such a great team that has risen to the call. And that's why I call them superheroes. Our healthcare workers, not only at Emory, but across the nation, are all superheroes.
In light of the superheroes that we have, in what ways, as far as our patients, the reason why we come to work, in what ways are our patients impacted when a team goes from being a good team to becoming a great team?
Well, I'll share this. I'll tell you this. I started in my role. It'll be close to 4 years next month, and what I have learned is that we have great teams throughout our organization, powerful teams, very skilled, great leaders across our organization. And I've always thought that we were a good team. I've always thought we were a great team. But during this pandemic, I don't know what the word is, because we've excelled from good to great to awesome. I think that that's the new word. We have gone from good to great to awesome. And the reason why I say that is, if you really think about it, we wouldn't be able to take care of our patients from a telemedicine standpoint unless an awesome team got together to put that in place to meet our patients where they need it. We got great reviews with regards to that. When I look at our patient comments across the organization, and our patients are telling us how much they appreciate us, that they're keeping us safe, that they notice everybody washing their hands and making certain that they have their PPE on, and making certain that our patients feel comfortable getting the necessary care that they need. That's how you go to awesome, because we have, developed this opportunity in the light of the pandemic to go above and beyond. When I say that our teams have gone above and beyond, I mean that. We've got folks that have done yeoman's work in taking care of our patients and going the extra mile, and not just going the extra mile sporadically or occasionally. They're doing it every single day. I think about our front desk greeters who have been at the forefront as a frontline teammate since the beginning, testing, asking those questions, to asking people to put on their masks. They have been security for us. That means that they've gone from good to awesome. Awesome. And I think I'm so moved by the appreciation that we get from our system. And I appreciate the recognition that we've gotten from our system. I appreciate the support. And I think that we will continue to be on this awesome track that we're on.
I like that. Good to great to awesome. So I asked a couple of questions to my guests, actually to all of my guests who come on. I usually ask 2 questions. This time, we may have time for me to get a 3rd question in. So are you ready?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. So is there a life quote that comes to mind when you think about pushing through the day or pushing through life on a positive note?
I do. And, I'm an avid fan of Dr. Maya Angelou. I had the great opportunity to hear her speak in Charlotte a few years ago. She's a magnificent, phenomenal woman. And one of the quotes that I hold dear to me as an individual is to try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. That's how I kind of see my life. That's what I'm dedicated towards. I see even my role in patient experience, employee engagement, diversity, equity, inclusion, all of those different things. I am able to try to be that rainbow in someone else's cloud. And, I think that if we all kind of started our day thinking about that quote and we internalize it, we can be there for our most vulnerable folks on a day-to-day basis.
Any helpful books, resources that come to mind on the subject of team building and or having an effective team?
One of the books that I always use to just try to help develop leaders or share with them, insight on how to build effective teams. I always ask leaders, especially new leaders as well, to get the book Five Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni.
Any final challenges or call to action for our listeners and our viewers as it relates to being an effective team or team member? Any final challenges or a call to action?
I'm glad you actually asked that question. At this time, I think it's very, very important for us to make sure that we are closely connected to our teams, that they know that they can come to us, that they know that they have the support of their leadership teams. I think it's very important that if you notice that a team member needs your help, or you notice that a team member is not doing so well, I'm encouraging you guys to reach out to your team members and get them the support that they need. We have a plethora of different support mechanisms across Emory for our teams. We have our BHS program, which is our FSAP program, that's got so many different resources for our teams. We also have this awesome program called Embrace, and Embrace is a peer-to-peer support program. These two things are vital right now. Our teams need us. We've got to focus on the well-being of our teams, and it's very, very important. And so I'm asking that we all are challenged to get folks the help and support that they need. We've got spiritual advisors as well throughout Emory. So we want to make sure, and for me, it is my charge to all of you to please, 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 if your team members need support and help, hear them out and help them with the support that they need. I think the call to action is for us to have that 200% accountability. So if you notice that your team member is not having such a good day, you notice that your team member may need additional resources, bring that to their forefront, let them know, and share with them that we do have resources and support available for them. That's what's so important to me now. I am more concerned than ever for our teams. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. They are really taking a lot of sacrifice on behalf of this nation, on behalf of our humanity. And I just want to tell all healthcare workers that we see you, we appreciate you, we value you, and we know what you have put on the lines for our communities. We thank you.
Well said, Kristie. A lot for us to chew on, a lot for us to think about, to digest. This is definitely something that is needed for us all to be reminded of as we continue serving one another, our patients, and our community. So Kristie, thank you very, very much. And I also want to let you know that with season 2, we are giving a token to all of our guests. So Kristie, you will receive a Continuing the Focus coffee mug. So you see here, I have a little, the host here have a little cup of tea or coffee, if you will. Each guest will receive this. So I hope that you will enjoy this gift that will be sent to you.
I think that is awesome. I'm so excited to get my mug. I hope I get it soon. Thank you so much, Kwame. And thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciated having this discussion. I think even through your questions, you asked excellent questions, and I think it's just so timely. And so I just want to say I thank you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for putting together such an awesome podcast. I'm looking forward to our new season as we start the next fiscal year. You are absolutely an awesome, not great, not good, but awesome team member. And I enjoy getting an opportunity to work with you.
Thank you very much. And I take that, and the same to you as well. And that concludes episode 1 of season 2. Just a reminder that episode 2 will continue our series on being an effective team and an effective team member. So be sure to join us on the first Friday of October. Also, if you haven't already and you're viewing this, be sure to hit subscribe so you can be on our list and you can get updates on our PGP Patient Experience channel. So until then, continue serving one another, continue serving our patients and our community, and continue the focus. Take care.